Well, hello, everyone. Welcome along to Returning Home with me in my workshop. Uh, hmm, I'll bring my trusty earworm in. He's in the background somewhere. If I can just get him in. Uh, worm, where am I? Oh, I messed this up again. What am I doing? I removed you. That's,
There we are.
I done the same thing as last week. I accidentally threw you out and then brought you back in again. So we have Doug in the background, and he's going to tell me who's in, and
Yeah,
he wants to know anything. Anyway, I put Doug in the
absolutely.
background, and I
Good
will
place.
shoot. We'll get back to it. Right, guys. So I have a piece of beach here, and it's 8 inches long by 3 inches. We'll just bring the camera over. Uh, There's a few wee cracks running up and down this, but I don't think they go any further in the first 5 miller or so because there's nothing else in it. And I already turned a piece of this afternoon to test it out to see if it will stay together. So tonight's piece is going to be an eccentric turning, multi-axis turning. Okay, it's so I'm not really up on this. Uh, how do we go this afternoon to just brush up on it again? And I've done it a few times in the past, but sort of leave it for a while and then I'll decide to come back to it. And you sort of forget wee parts where you should have done this and you should have done that, and you end up making a mess. For the first two I turned, they're in the bin. So anyway, so it may go wrong and it might be all right. So first of all, I'm going to turn this down around, okay, and we'll take it from there. So Doug will tell me who's in. I'm just going to put my face shield on because this is quite.
You can get a face full real quick.
Yes, it's very hard in the face. This stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So excuse the noise while I put this on. Right, that's
All
me
right.
sorted. Right.
All right. Let's talk about who's in the chat just a little bit here. We got Jennifer's Craft and Creations first in that I see. Glad to have you, Jennifer. And Copper Owl Wood Turning. Hey, Rob. Matt Ibbotson. Hello, Matt. Big Al Dawson. Good to see you, Al. Vinny Charlton is in. Dale, Old Man Wood River Wood Turner. Clint at Wood Dances. Hello, Clint. Roger Kent is here. Haley at Wooden Bull is in. Going down, there's Raymond Wise. Where's my? There we go. Mike Evans is in. Jim Shelby, or Selby, excuse me, Jim. Jim Selby from Jacksonville, Florida is in. Roy's the boy. Hello, Roy. MB Wood Turning. Hello. And that's got me at the bottom.
Well, welcome along, everyone. Thanks very
Yes.
much for joining me this evening.
Good to
So
see everybody.
just move that to the rest then. Mhm.
Went over a few minutes ago to grab my link and realized I hadn't put my link in for this week yet. So right after Paul is finished today, I'll get my link established and it should pop up in your subscription list.
Okay, that's all the roughing down. Right, get rid of this face shield now. Just while I was roughing that out, because that beach is quite hard in the face, you know. Right, okay, I tell you what I have this mounted on. I have this mounted in an Axminster chuck with an Axminster eccentric uh, chuck, and I'll just take it off and show you the way it operates. You've seen me using it before, and let's see if I also messing around with different holes and stuff. I can just move it around in this, and it does the job. Right, so this is the chuck in question. So I can offset this left or right on those the holes, and then it's indexed on the front using that center line, and you've got individual marks right around the outside of that, and I put a wee arrow so I know to turn it that way when I'm going. So I have it mounted on center, so I need to do the top of the piece. So it's going to be a wee tea light holder. So I'm just going to do the business on the top end of it with a tea light, and then we will get the offsetting it and so on. So I'm holding that wood on with 3 big screws, and my waist wood is about there. I can't go past that because the screws are coming in there. So that's head's being held in that, and the whole that's being held with a chuck itself. That's a Nextminster chuck, an old one. They no longer do that, I don't think. I picked that up on a sale. Some of these stuff was on sale. I ended up with it. Anyway, that's enough about that. So this is quite a way away from the headstock. So I'm going to use the Jacob's chuck and Forstner bit to relieve the wee hole I need for the insert, and I'm using the wee insert like that. You can buy those, or you can buy the wee glass inserts. So that's the one in there. So we need to get that sorted out. So I need to get a Forstner bit.
Jennifer has asked what wood is it, and we said
it's
beech earlier.
It's a piece of beech.
Jennifer,
it's a piece of beech. It's a piece of beech, and
no sand on this beech, just wood.
All right, put that out of the way. So this will just help with because it's 8 inches long. It's too far away from the headstock, and you will get a lot of vibration from it if you try to hollow it out from that state. Even though it's only a light piece you're taking out, I will have to do a wee bit of turning at it, but this will help me. So it will. So just want to check that. I think that's more than enough. That's dead on. So get rid of that annoying elbow puncher out of the way, and I'm putting my revolving center back in, and that's a wee ring center, and so I need to mark that. So it still has to be a wee ways to go to get that in that. So I'm just going to move that out of the way here. I've got a wee platform sitting here in front of the lathe, and it's in the way to take the tailstock out. Everything gets in the way when you're just setting up. So where are we? Tailstock. So we'll want to mark our width of this, and remember, only touch one end. Okay. And I just want to get a parting tool.
If you hit that right end, it will remind you why you don't do that. Don't ask me how I know. Got slapped pretty good Friday.
This piece of beach is quite hard, so it is. Just forcing that parting tool into that. Just want to see if that's anywhere near it. It's almost. So,
Is that candle cup slightly tapered?
Yes, it's slightly tapered. There's not much of it.
Okay.
But it's tapered enough.
All right, right. Good deal.
Turn the speed up a wee bit.
Sometimes you get those that are slightly tapered. Sometimes they're straight. So that's why I asked.
Okay, we'll see what that's saying. There.
Oh,
That's nice wee fit. Lovely. So, as I said, I'll be at one of these this afternoon just to get myself familiarised with the outs and ends with all the wee bits in here and out there and cuts and stuff. And I made one this afternoon a bit smaller around the head. So this is going to be a wee bit bigger. It needs spaced off because it's lying at an angle. So I'll change over to the head or overhead to see. You can actually see it there. I tried truing that up in the bandsaw. I didn't do a good job of it. Right. Let's see. There's a tools bouncing off the floor. So I just want to take a wee slice off this. It's not an awful lot in it, but you can see the way that's vibrating. It'd be very easy to get a catch in this and it'll fly off. So it would. I just want to see what that's like with my, where to put it. I didn't want to cup it running out. Right. Everything's falling on the floor, Paul. Right, that's okay. Plenty of depth in that. Get it out again. Right. And it looks quite okay. Right. So we'll bring our tailstock back. Things won't stay on the lathe bed. Yeah, dropping everything.
Oh, golly. Everything I touched Friday ended up in the floor. It was crazy.
Right.
Trying to
So
get some last minute. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just going to turn this wee cup part of it down. It's not overly big. So let's see. I'll take some of that timber away too as well. So just reducing the width of this slightly. Just looking at that R1 to see how much I left on it. Actually, it didn't leave anything on it. So it was flush with the actual cup itself. I'm just using a bowl gouge here. And again, shape is entirely up to you, what you like. I just like to cup it around a wee bit. And
Robert Boltwood has joined us. Hello, Robert. Glad to have you along.
Hi, Robert. I can't get any further in there with that tool, so I'm going to have to go over the spindle gouge. Using a 1/4 inch spindle gouge. get me in the bottom of this.
I hope you folks on the other side of the pond are having weather like, or have had weather like we're having right now. It's partly cloudy, mid 70s. So what would that be? Right around 20 or so Celsius. It's just a beautiful day. Light breeze.
That's fine. I just wanted to check the front of that to see how it sat there. But that's fine.
Ah,
So
Tim at TF Turning has joined us. Hello, Tim.
Quick wee sand. I'm not going to spend too much time on the sanding part of it. Just lightly.
But if you're going to sand, this is the only time to do it. So.
Yep, you can't go back on it. And the same thing when you're finished, if you're playing, you're finished play it now, and you can always touch it up later. But the majority of your finishing work you want to do now as you progress through the piece. So that's all right. I'm happy with that. I'll just give that a wee spray of sand sealer before we'll move the configuration of the jaws around. Right. So I had a bit of bother today with where to end this and start my cut for my off center axis for that. So I'm just going to touch the very bottom of that up, leaving a wee. Got to bring a tailstock up. Vibrating. So just making some room there to get into the bottom of that. Okay. So I think I'm all right with that. I just hit that with a sandpaper again, just for the bottom there. It's one of these pieces that it takes a wee bit of getting used to. Your multi-axis points where you're going to end and start your next piece. So it's a wee bit annoying when you don't get it right, because you normally have to start again. Right, we need to take this off and move our jaws. I'll show you this too. Right, what do we need? We need a spanner or an Allen key, 2 Allen keys. I'll bring my board over, and then you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so The center one is your locking screw, and that's the one that pivots everything as you go around the outside. As you see, there's my screws and there's all my different offsets. And this is where you offset this here. And just offset it to please yourself. Just going to. I haven't played too much with a sweet chuck. Sort of go, you bring it out one day and it's gone in the drawer the next day. So I'm going to bring it round. You can see that just moved it round a slight wee quarter on that, and that's more than enough to offset that. So, and all our different axes will be moved on this. So now I need the line, that center line, and I've marked that one with a black marker, and there's the corresponding marker there. So that's where you're starting from. Okay, and we'll put that screw back in. Now, this may all go wrong.
Nah.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember from this afternoon. It was only this afternoon doing this.
Fred Gilliver has joined us. Hello, Fred.
I don't do enough of it. See, that's off center now. Okay. So we'll just put all this out of the way. We'll need that again shortly. And again, we'll bring the tailstock up with our ring center. And we'll just need to make sure that clears the tool race, and it does. Now, where's that? So I'm going to remove some timber here, and I'm just going to use the bowl gouge with it to do it, because I don't want this diameter of this. I want this to be within the size of the cup. Okay, so too fast, Paul. Hold on. What's that? Okay. I thought that broke there. Tool rest just fell down. Give me a wee bit of a scare there, so I wasn't expecting it. Okay, so I want to go a wee bit smaller than what I have. I don't know if you can see that better on the tailstock, and probably better. We'll get rid of that now because it's very delicate as you start to go into this. You could easily run into your cup. You practice stop this now and again, see where we are. So we're just at the very bottom of that. You can see it's where it's changing. You can't really see that, can you? Let's see if I can do that with the other camera. Let's see. Well, you can see that it's starting to form a wee ridge there. Okay. So I've just started to cut into that there. So I don't want to go any deeper than that. So and the best about this, if you don't go too far and you need to go back to this first stage, you can. It's only a matter undoing that and putting it back on center. So you can fix that. It's just a wee bit hanging over that I need to take off. And this is where I found it very hard to get my head around what part am I cutting and what part am I not. So there's a wee step on that. I don't know if the camera's picking it up.
Yes,
See
yes, we see it.
The overhead there. You can see
Mhm.
it. It's
Yeah.
going round. So it's a wee step. So I want to get more or less this ready to go on to the next position. So I'll take some more of this timber away. I just want to create a wee bit more of an angle on that.
Yeah, Roy said he's done multi-axis goblet by moving it in different places in the chuck. Yes, Roy,
Yeah,
absolutely, you can do that.
there's lots of different ways of doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I have this chuck, so I'm using the chuck. The only thing about moving it in the chuck, if we do get a catch, it will pull out because you're offsetting it by taking the wood out of the jaws a wee bit to offset it. Okay, there's a couple of other different ways you can do it. So I'm happy enough with that. So we'll
even between centers is one way, and
yeah,
I've done that a few times myself.
just give that a quick sound.
Over the last couple of years, most of us have seen an example or two of you putting it in a four-jaw chuck and just slightly off-centering it in the chuck,
Yeah, that's it.
which is
That's
kind of
about the
interesting.
easiest way to do it. Yeah, it's about the easiest way to do it.
Yeah,
And just move it back
it's
forward.
much smaller increments usually, but that's okay. They don't have to be major changes in your axis to get your offsets and what have you.
Right.
Several different eccentric chucks that we've seen come out. Um, Niles Bottle Stoppers has theirs. I'm going to butcher his name, but Francois Escalon, I think, something of that nature. He
Yeah.
has one. He did his years and years and years ago.
So I'm only on doing the center screw this time, and I want to find the start. So there's the start. There's my arrow pushing that way. So I want to move it around 2 positions, and then do the screw back up again. And that gets me a different axis for to cut my next piece. I'm saying, cross my fingers. Okay, so I managed the one this afternoon. Okay, so you can see that's throwing it off again in a different position. Again, we'll bring our tool rest in. Okay. Just remove some of this waste timber. That seems to get in the way an awful lot when you're doing this. Before you go too far, just stop it and have a wee look to see where it's going. I think that'll be all right. He says. Just check it again. Yeah, I just pour that wee bit out there. So I can afford to take a wee bit more out of that. The thing I done this afternoon when I started, I didn't leave myself enough on a lot of timber to make a mistake or two. Because if you don't leave enough room, you end up with no way of rectifying this bit here. So you want a nice sharp edge as this goes around. So switch back to the spindle gouge. We want to
There we go. Roy has reminded everybody to hit the thumbs up, and it's a great idea. Just drop right down below the screen there and hit that thumbs up. The other thing, while I'm thinking about it, that will help Paul's channel out as much as anything, the thumbs up definitely does. But then after the live is over, give it a few minutes for it to come up and go back in, go out and come back in, and put a comment in the chat, not in the chat, in the down below the comment section. That's what I'm trying to think of. The thumbs up and then the comments all within the first hour or two after a video goes up or a live goes up really does seem to make a difference in how YouTube will push it out there. So yeah, the thumbs up and then go back in and make a comment after it's over. That'll help Paul out tremendously. And if you come over tomorrow and watch mine, do the same thing.
okay, let's see what we've got here. Right, okay. More or less happy with that. We'll just give it a quick wee sand. You have to do all these wee steps as you go along.
Yeah, especially the sanding, or you're going to be going in and doing a lot of hand sanding. It's not a lot of fun when you have to do that on all those different.
The only thing about this, we're cutting it with the spindle gouge and such a small piece. It's leaving an awful, a lovely surface on it, so it doesn't need an awful lot.
That's great.
Right, so we are ready to move to our next piece, I think.
Karsten Pedersen is in. Hello, Karsten. Glad to have you along today.
I'm just thinking to myself, do I need to turn that? Yeah, I do. This is where you can go wrong very, very easy. You need to leave your next cut done before you move on.
Yes, because you change the axis and
that
joint, it's on the top side, is going to be moved. So exactly.
Right. This mightn't be right, but we'll soon find out. I can't remember.
You know, it'll be okay either way.
Right. Okay. We'll take that off and move it. And I'm going to move it another. Where's my chuck key there? Where's my chuck key? It's one of these things, if you don't do an awful lot off, you can soon forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
how you go about it. So I moved that number two pieces,
Yes.
two spaces. So right, that's one. That's 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. That's 4 pieces spaces altogether. It's moved. Now there will become a stage I'm going to need to move this again, because even though this is on the one axis where your chuck is, all you're doing is moving it around a different position.
Mm-hmm.
Your axis will not change from this point here, but the other ones will, and it doesn't give you an awful lot. Where's the I give him that cut chucky? So if it works, if it works, it works. But I did do one this afternoon, and I can show you that if it doesn't work out. But anyway, so I'm just looking at this as it rotates. So it's still going the same way. It's just going round and round. The only thing I've changed is where this position will be cut to. It's not giving me enough on it, so I'm going to need to take that off and move it on the actual chuck. And this is the only drawback by using this here. But I like it because you can screw this on to the workpiece and not worry about it coming off or coming out of the jaws. So, where's the Allen key? So, I'm going to move this position round one more to there. It mightn't seem an awful lot, but it is quite a bit, you know. So that's that position moved. We'll put that back round to number 4 where we were. In fact, we'll put it back to 0 because it's on a different axis altogether. So we'll see. The only way you can tell is to put it on the chuck and turn the lathe on to see what way it's spinning. It's a wee bit more complicated this way, but if you get your head around it, it should be all right. Right, that's giving me enough out. That should be okay. So let's see. I need to bring that down a good bit. Where should I bring it? I'm going to move it to. So I am on the position.
Chris Charlton has joined us. Hello, Chris. Glad to have you with us.
I was saying to Doug earlier, I was watching Barbara Dill. She's a good inspiration for multi-axis turning and stuff like that. I was trying to follow her this afternoon on a couple of pieces. I've moved it around 2 positions, so hopefully it should be giving me a wee bit more on the spindle. Right, let's see what we've got now. Right. Right. So, quite a bit of timber to take away here. You can see how much that's moving around. So, just make sure it clears out tool rest. And it's hard to see sometimes when you're looking at it. Oh, what am I cutting and what I'm not meant to be cutting? So the best way is cut down the way first. and then you can see where your cut actually starting from. So it's starting from a way up here. Okay, that's okay. If I want to take our way down, stop again, have an RV look to see where we're going. Yes, that's coming down nicely. What you don't want to do is end up, or no, you can't see in that one. No, that's not the right one, Paul. Just here, you can see how much you have. Well, you will see it if I bring a camera around. Hang on. Tailstock. Yes, you can just about see it here. Just here, as it goes into that wee transition in the middle, you don't want to go too far past that, okay?
Yeah.
Or it'll end up, you'll end up into your top piece, and it'll be all up the left end. So just be aware where you're cutting. And again, we'll just stop that and look. And you can see that's coming down at a nice pace, and it's starting to blur out a wee bit. I can afford to take another cut off that. What you want to do is bring it down from large to small, coming down the way, and then as you go near the bottom, you want to think about where your foot is and where you're going to transition into. It's anybody doing it for the first time will find it hard. I have done it a few times and I still find it very hard. So
yeah,
by no means am I an expert on it, but I like to try things and see.
without doing it a lot. Doing a lot of pieces and experimenting with it. It's hard to be able to predict it right off the bat. You almost have to play with it and
I just
learn how it works. Just boogered it up, did you?
Just boogered it up. I'm going to have to try and fix it now. Let's see. But that's what happens when you're doing these things.
Mm-hmm.
These things will crop up. Let me see. There's a wee bit there still. I'm using the 1/4" spindle gouge. It's not strong enough for, as I said, that wood's really hard. When it grabs it, it's grabbing the actual gouge, and that's what happened there. I pulled it in and took that big chunk out. So that's why I'm using the spindle gouge or the roughing gouge or bull gouge. I'll get the right gouge in a minute.
There you go. Not too many left. You about hit them all there.
So just being gentle with the bull gouge, trying to rectify this catch. You might be able to get it, and you might mail. Well, you see. Oh, I might be able to. If I wanted, I could probably go back and turn that piece there a bit smaller.
I'm not sure I would.
But doing that's going to say, in doing so, you're weakening this thing all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm just going to try and take an RV cut off that, and it should blend it in.
And it is a demo piece. It's not a.
Yes, it's a demo piece, and
not necessarily
it's just
for
showing
a
you
museum.
what to expect, and not really get too hung up about it. If it doesn't work out in your first go. it'll take you a wee while. If you're doing it all day and for practice, you'll soon get the hang of where you're meant to be.
Yes.
So, right, okay, I'll take a wee bit more of that away and see if I can. It's not too bad. There's just a slight wee. It's not where I wanted it. That should have been round the whole way round.
Yes.
But I've eat into it now. But at this stage, I could still go back on it if I remembered where the settings were. But I'm not going to bar. That looks about on center. I wonder. I'm not going to turn the lathe on. I'm just going around. No, it's not. So I can't fix that, but I can take a wee bit more off that just to bring it down.
Okay. Be honest now, everybody. How many of you were just holding your breath just now? I was. Wood is such an interesting product. You there's times when you think there's no way that should have broke. It's so big, so thick. Other times you get it so thin, you just know it's going to break, and it never even tries. So you just never know. And if it breaks, you take it off, you chunk it, and grab another piece.
Yeah, just start again. And that's just what it's all about. It's about a bit of enjoyment. There's nobody going, you made a mistake, that's coming out of your wages. There's nobody on your back. It's meant to be enjoyable. So, go out, try these 3 things to see if you can get it to work for you. I like to try them to see what I can come up with. And I might be doing it all wrong, but you never learn anything until you try.
All right,
Just
so
a wee ridge there.
You got 2 elements on 2 different axes that are blended together. That's pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good.
So that's really running down. As it comes down here, it changes, but I'm trying to just poke that wee bit out there. It's a wee bit of a ridge there. I can see it as it spins around. You can't pick it up in the camera.
No.
I could probably sand that wee bit out. I think I will. I'll just sand that because I'm getting really thin on it. I don't really want to tempt fate. Just be careful of your fingers. These are a knuckle buster here because it's not completely round. The piece of timber you're sanding.
That's right.
As you go to the top of it and you're on a different axis altogether. So just be careful. Let's see where that is. Well, that didn't turn out too bad. I could probably sand that with a lead stamp. Just take that wee. We'll not worry about that. That's okay. Right, let's see. What do we want to do now? We want to change that from going forward to going backwards. And do I need to start that again? I will. You have to remember all that. What I'm talking about is here. I need to leave a surface on here that my next cut will be going down away from it, and this top bit will be finished. I think that's the way it's meant to go. He says with great enthusiasm. Right. We're just going to clean this up here. Right, I cleaned that up. Okay, happy enough with that. So we'll move it again and see what we can get. Okay, now. So without removing that, I want 2 pass from the center. So I'm going back to center and I'm going back 3. I'm going back 3 this time. Because I can. And that's the only reason. Okay. I'll put that back on again.
Now, is this your last cut? No, you got 2 more cuts before your base.
2 more cuts before the base.
Okay.
The other thing I will say about that chuck, this will only work on an Axminster chuck. So don't think if you have a record chuck, it won't work on it because the jaws don't expand enough. They're not big enough. It's some of the Axminster stuff will only work on Axminster jaws, and that's one of them. Because I had to buy that set of jaws to get that there. I had this for a good while, and I couldn't fit it onto anything because the jaws didn't expand, far enough. Because they expand into, it's the same as the faceplate ring. That's the way it joins.
Right.
You join it into it. Right. Let's see where we are now. Right. Bring our tailstock up. Just take our tension up on that. Okay. So we just want to see where we're cutting here. So we'll just remove some of this timber here. Because this is all waste. So you can afford to take quite a bit of it away before you get sort of any transition into the piece. And that'll give you an idea what way to go. So you can see that's changing direction and it's going that way now. As before it was going this way. Okay. So as we're going down down, down, down on a zigzag sort of pattern. But if you wanted a more acute pattern, you would have to change the axis on the main body of the chuck and bring it around in maybe 5 spaces. And that will move it quite a bit. That will change the direction of it altogether. So instead of coming down totally in one line, it'll come this way, from here. It'll come up that way instead of going that way. If you can follow what I'm trying to say. Right, anyway. Back to maybe not explaining this very well, but I'm doing my best. Just keep stopping it and looking at it and seeing where you are. Right, that's okay. I can go a bit further yet. Want to just bring this down, but another 1/4 of an inch. It's getting a wee bit grabby there because I need to turn the speed up a wee bit. Speed's your friend here because you're cutting a lot of air as you go round and come back into the piece. So you can see that's starting to come in nicely now. So I'm just going to increase the speed, and we were doing 800 revolutions there. So we'll just bring it up to just 1,000 revolutions. That wee bit more speed just help that cut better.
Michael McEwen is in. Hello, Michael. Happy Monday to you, my friend.
Welcome along, Michael. So there we are. There's still a wee bit there I need to cut off. So another wee cut will do that, I think. I'm just add it up and see what way that will go. Right, okay. So get a firm grip of your gouge. Pick the cut up.
Michael, just so you don't have to ask, Paul's turning a candle holder, a centric, out of beech. So
sort of tore wee bits out there, so I'm going to try and go in with a spindle gouge here and tidy that up. I'm just going to mark that end there because it's hard to see with where you are. I'm just going to mark that end with a pencil so I can see the end of it as it whizzes past. I'm just about to see it. Let's see if we can get a bit more speed.
A while ago, you said take a good firm grip of the tool. My brain immediately thought in a change of underwear close by. Oh.
Right. Yes, that's tidying that up. I can sand the rest of that. Use the parting tool to put a wee right, that tidy that up. We'll just need to do that, and then I'll be ready to sand that wee bit. Yeah, there's still that wee bit of tear out, but I can't go any further because I'll be into this section here. You can see that where there's the line, so it's just there where it transitions into this part here. So we'll try and sand that and see if I can get that wee bit of tear out gone. Just the gouge is lifting lumps out of it, but I find the bowl gouge is being nice and heavy and strong. You don't get as much flexion from it, jumping about.
Yeah.
Just watch your fingers now, because this is really. Whoo! Where'd my sandpaper go? It's just getting a wee bit dangerous now. Count all your fingers at the end.
That's right. And your toes.
Let's see. Right, that didn't. I probably get that wee bit back on. Okay. So the more you actually turn pieces like this, the better you'll get at it. So I'm no expert at it. I'm just showing you what you can achieve by venturing into something like this. Right, before I move it again, I want to bring that over and tidy this bit up here. Just show you that because it's quite rough. See it? But
Oh, better with the overhead. Oh,
did you?
Yeah, we see it. Yes, you're
Yeah,
good.
you can see a rough end. So I'll just put it back over the overhead. I'm going to cut this to clean that up. Sort of. I'm just going to use a round nose stripper on that wee bit because I sort of put a wee bevel on that to round that over. To come up there. So now is a good time to mark my cut-off point, which is here. So I'm just going to mark that. Okay, so that's giving me a good visual mark somewhere there. I'm going to make a better cut on that when it's in true axis. So I'm happy enough with that. We'll just move that all again now. Just make room to get the tailstock out of the way. And again, we want, we'll throw it quite a bit. This will be the last cut coming down to the foot and down to the bottom. So just loosen that a bit. Where's our start? So there's our start line there. And our start lines there, sorry. I came 1, 2, 3 to the right or the left of it. So 1, 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 positions. I've moved that totally. Right. So we should get a different pattern again. Okay. Okay, let's see. Don't forget your. We need a bigger lathe bed here. Everything's falling off it. So bring your live center back up, just to take the rockiness out of that. So now I'm going to put quite a deep cut on this to bring this into the bottom. So I'll be probably coming back to here and bringing that down. Just finish the foot. And that's not good for. Right. Again, going away from the direction you want to go, just to see where you're cutting. Right, that's coming down. That's all right. I can work with that. So that'll get you a visual reference of where that's going to go and the shape it's going. So it's coming back down there. That's quite good. Yeah, a wee bit more out of that. You've got a catch there. Forcing that too much. Right, I don't want to make it any smaller. So you can see now that's changed positions. It's starting to move over to this side, or all those ones were moving down that side. You can see it as you turn it. Okay, so they're not any longer in line with these two or that one. Those three are sort of in the same axis before I moved it round to 5 positions on the main chuck. So that's giving it an position away from that. So everything go from that will be going in this direction. If you follow what I mean. But where's my gauge? That's a corner. Don't want that one. Get this one. Just need to tidy that up. We better chip out there. Again, stop and have a wee look and see where it is. Yeah, if I end that there, I should be able to put that back on the center axis and finish that. Tool rest was moving there. That's not too bad off center. So what you don't want it to be hanging over to one end, and when you set it down, it's going to fall over. Especially if you have weight up here. So
at the same time, if you start on center and you end on center, you should be okay.
Yeah.
Keyword should.
Let's see where that ended up. Right, I'm happy with that. There's a wee bit of tear out on the end of that, so I can just touch that up. This should be enough. Okay, I'm happy with that. So take it all off and put everything back to center. Is what's called for now.
One more time.
It's a great chuck for doing off-center and eccentric turning. There's a whole lot you can do on it with it. I first seen Jason Breach when he was over the Ulster Wood Turners demonstrate it, and I said to myself, I have to get one of those. And I did, and it's one of those things. You buy a new tool, and it sort of sits in the cupboard, and you could sit there for maybe a year, 2 years before you finally come across it again. And I liked the way he done the lids of the boxes, putting a nice design on it.
Okay.
So we're just putting this back on center. It doesn't matter what one it goes into because it's right on center position again. So I'm just putting the lock and screw in, which will lock that all together. And that should be.
Now, does that center screw actually go into the wood or just the?
No, that goes into the metal piece.
Just
See
into
that
the
piece
metal.
there?
Okay, right.
Yes, into
right.
that.
So you have 3 screws going into the wood and then one holding the whole chuck together.
Yeah. There.
Good.
So we're back on center. I might be able to touch that wee bit up there now. That spun center. Just a wee bit. Better. There was just a wee bit hanging off it there. And but you could spend a wee bit of time going round by hand and just run the sandpaper over. There's not an awful lot of sand to be done. You need nice clean cuts, nice crispy lines, and because you're using the spindle gouge and you're getting a nice contact with the wood, it's coming out nice and clean. Just with the transitions are the hardest part here. I still find I have trouble with that, and once I get my head around where the next cut should start from and where the next cut should end, I'll be a lot happier. It's one of those things that's just there to annoy you. Okay, so we'll get the bowl gouge. We'll take some of this timber away.
There would be nothing wrong with doing one or two of these axes and then resharpening.
Yeah.
Just ensure you get a clean cut that way.
I just want to see where I'm going here. So go on a wee bit and bring that up to that. Just be careful. Change gouges now because quite easy to run into that bit that's spinning around there as it's no longer in center. Just have a look at it before say that. Good job of stop that. Right. Parting tool. Be able to fix that. I just went a wee bit too far there, but it's okay.
Almost makes it match the top. Now, Jennifer, you're not poking fun, are you? She says, that's looking great, Paul. Just a wee bit.
Wee bit. Okay.
And I guess if you are very comfortable with a skew. All of this could be done with a skew since it is spindle work.
Well, I'll not be trying that.
I will not do it either.
I'll be, uh, it's bad enough doing it with a spindle gauge or a bow
Yeah,
gauge.
I've been doing. I did 40 snowmen last week, and those were done with a skew and a parting tool. It's only two tools I used, and I'm still not comfortable enough to do something like this with a skew. But it can be done. I've seen it done.
Yeah,
Just instead of you don't have as many curved lines as you have straight lines.
so that'll need a wee bit of sanding to sort that out. I can sort the bottom out here.
Oh, Jennifer, that's okay. We knew that. I poke enough fun about we everything. But it's all in good fun.
Right, I can get those wee bits by hand, but I just went too far when I went down towards the center and approached into this bit, and I didn't mean to do that, but it's done now, so no fixing it. Once you
I
do that,
yeah.
you're
Unless I was about to say, if you took good notes every time you changed,
yes, yeah.
then you could go
That's
back.
that's the only thing you could do if you're taking notes. What where you moved it from and how many you moved it. You could. That's only where the reason where this chuck would work. If you're doing it off just on the actual chuck itself by just bringing the wood out a wee bit and moving it to a different position, you probably couldn't do it that way.
Sure.
So just a wee bit of sanding by hand here around the tops of that. They're nice and crisp there. There's only one or two spots there. It's made a mistake on, and you're going to do that anyway. No matter how hard you try until you get the real hang of this. It's all about where you stop and where you finish for the next piece, for the next cut. And that's what it's all coming down to. If you go too far and then you approach into the last piece you did cut, if you're following me, I might be talking a load of nonsense, but it makes sense to me. Okay, we'll cut that off and we'll give it a wee coat of sand sealer first.
Yeah. With what you were saying, Paul, one of the things that has yet to be done with this kind of turning is a glossary has not been decided upon. The people who are doing it, everybody uses a little different vocabulary, and so
Yeah,
once it becomes more of a standard practice, or somebody takes the time to develop the vocabulary, then we can begin to talk about it and make sense of it. But seeing it right now is the best way. At least for me, it is.
yeah. Well, you see, Barbara Dill talks an awful lot about when you're multi-axis, moving it more on one axis, and you can twist it.
Right.
All this here business, you can make it like a bent stem. It's there's loads of things you can do with it, but
Sure.
how far you want to take it is entirely up to yourself.
Right. Right. Yeah, she talks about two different types of off-center turning, or eccentric turning. Others will talk about, there's only really one kind. It's just off center, but how do you make it off center? Are you changing the vertical axis? Are you changing the horizontal axis?
Right, I'm just going to take these screws out. I'm going to put the rest of that in the bandsaw. I just came into the screw there. I didn't think the screws were down that far. They are.
Well, you went below your mark, so.
It must be just the top of it, but it's easy. You just take it off and
Sure.
the bandsaw. So that's that part off, and then you just take that orbit off. Where's my screw gun?
Uh-oh.
I just broke it. You wouldn't believe that. Let's get the screw out of it and see if I can do anything with it. Maybe to glue it back together. Bear with me a wee minute. Not doing anything off camera, just going over here for a wee drink, and I'll be back in a minute. Oh, it always happens. It always happens.
That's right. I had a nice rosewood burl finial break twice on me. That was a joy. In live demonstration.
Even though it's only a demonstration, you like to get the bit finished and awful late in one piece.
Yeah.
Right, I managed to get that stuck. Just run it over the balance. Oh, here, and cut that bit off. Oh, just one of today. Where is that?
Yeah, I guess that was last week that my finial broke, and I had to grab another piece of wood for the finial. So, but I used that rosewood to make a cap for the ornament, and it worked out fine. It just wasn't what I had planned.
No, unfortunately, things sort of happen that way, and
sure,
there's not much you can do about it. But I thought that would be a nice wee project for this evening.
Sure.
Just show you what can be done. Multi-axis turning. We'll just change the camera. Right, there's the one we just done. And where's the wee lid? But God knows where it's went to. Probably. And there's our candle. Okay, so that's the one. And this is. Oh, there's it there. Have it in the other one. Put that in there, and that in there. And that's the one I done this afternoon.
Okay.
So two totally different styles. A lot thinner in this one. I came out and done that after watching Bob Rudell, but in between a space of 3 hours, it's all going on in my head. and you're saying, oh, what did I do next? And what did I do that bit right? It's one of those things.
It looks very nice, Paul. I like it.
It's like there's very little sanding to be done there. Just that we broke off there when I dropped it. But things that thin there, you're sort of tempting fate for the thing to break. But you can see the shapes you can get, and if you change the axis on the main chuck of it more out, you can get this going both ways instead of one direction. So it's going that way, going here, and going out and coming back. So it's a nice wee project. and to get your head round.
Yes,
Unfortunately,
absolutely.
where are we? Shed for me. So that's all from me, guys, and I'll bring Doug back in. There we are. I hope you enjoyed that. I say I haven't done too much of that, and unless you stick at it for a wee while, you tend to lose your place in it, and
Yeah.
sometimes it works out, and then sometimes it doesn't. But you can see it worked out not too bad in the end.
The only issue you're ever going to have really is if you try to make two of them exactly the same.
Oh no!
Then
no
you
matter
have to know exactly what you're doing.
no matter how much money you offered, no way would you
No,
make two of them.
I would not attempt it. But
You
now
know,
Barbara probably could,
yeah,
and there
it's
are
a
some
one-off.
other folks that
It's a
could. But
one-off piece for most of us.
right,
Do it
right,
once, and there's nothing to compare it with. And
sure,
the one thing about it, there'll never be another piece like it.
that's a fact.
you know. But anyway, guys, thanks for coming over this evening and this afternoon, wherever you are. I really appreciate your company coming in and taking part. And I look forward to seeing you next week.
All right,
And I'll say cheerio, and Doug will say cheerio,
cheerio.
and I'll press the big button here.
Bye
It's
bye,
marked red,
everybody.
and goodbye.